On May 19th, 1927, something scary happened in the history of London. The skies turn out to be different from usual. Nothing seems right. The air blew differently. Something that formed like a black water was formed above the sky, causing a lot of ears for all people. No one knows what was happening. Is it the end of time, people ask themselves? In all this, there was an old temple where people murdered were buried inside a tomb. The old temple was such a quiet place, no one went there any longer. A huge sound was heard inside the temple by close-by neighbors. The old bag that kept the keys to the tomb was mysteriously opened with no one touching it. And strange sounds were continuously heard inside the temple. These keys were about to unlock something even much scarier than what is happening. No one wanted the keys to be out of the bag, but yet it was opened. A mysterious hand has opened a tomb that is centuries old. The skeletal remains of murdered people have been brought to bear. What is going to happen? About few skeletons were found in the first tomb. The skeletons set out to come to town to haunt those who has murdered them, to take a revenge on them and punish them for their sins. They started their journey through the cemetery forest towards town. They walked together and talking amongst themselves where they should go first when they get to town. People had been, yet a few people were walking on the streets of London. Young man was escorting his girlfriend to the house after a visit to his house. The streets were quiet and very scary. Few people had worked late in the night and were also walking home along the dark and scary road through town. Only a few vehicles were approaching and sharing light on the streets. A cat has sensed the coming of the skeletons through the scary air, but blew. The cat is in a hurry to get home and hide from the skeletons. The cat run through the streets and crying so that people can hear and get away into their homes. Later and sooner the skeletons reach the London small town, walking freely along the streets and chatting between them. Where is everybody, they ask themselves. We have to soon find a house that we can stay whilst we hunt down our murderers. Someone has seen the skeletons and had called the military to come to town. Soon the military arrived and quietly found the skeleton hiding beside the walls. The soldier was afraid that if it shoots, the skeletons will be more furious and destroy the whole town. So the soldier retreated. The house of the cleaner was located close to the hiding place of the skeletons, and they decided to go there and stay. The house was isolated with wooden structure and quiet, making it a perfect place for the skeletons to stay. So the skeletons went to the house and walked straight to the door, knocking and making scary sounds. They want the cleaner to come and open the door for them. When the rabbit pet of the cleaner heard the scary sounds and knock on the door, it became sacred and went back quietly to its hiding place. The cleaner was very tired from work and was resting until she gets to sleep. She heard the door knock and shouted, "Who is at the door?" She wasn't expecting any visitor at the late night, so she was becoming scared also. She slowly went to the door and peeped through the window and saw the skeletons standing at her door. She was very frightened and didn't know what to do. She said to herself, "What is happening to me? Am I dreaming or it's real?" She said, "Let me call my boyfriend and tell him what is happening and seek for help." She called her boyfriend severally, but he couldn't pick the call because he was far asleep. She kept calling until the boyfriend was connected to the call. The cleaner told her boyfriend what is happening, that skeletons were at the door and she needed advice on what to do. The boyfriend laughed at her and thought she was making a joke of him. He continued to laugh and said, "Why don't you open the door for them?" The cleaner agreed to open the door. She opened the door for the skeletons to come inside the room, but first she asked them, "What do you want?" The skeletons said, "We are hungry and we want some food to eat. We need to be filled before we take revenge on those who murdered us." She said, "Come in." The skeletons entered the house and the cleaner took them to the dining table and served them with a lot of food. The cleaner told them to eat as much as they could as long as they won't harm her. The skeleton began to eat the food. Because the cleaner was standing by them, they were shy to eat, and they asked the cleaner to leave so that they can eat. As soon as the cleaner left them, the skeleton quickly eat all the food. They were very filled and happy. They said, "We won't leave this house any longer." After they financed eating the food, they happily went to the kitchen to do the dishes whilst the V-leaner was asleep. The skeleton was happy washing the plates. After washing the plates, they went to sit beside the television listening to music and watching G News. They felt at home and didn't want to leave anymore. They loved watching the TV and could sit from morning to evening watching the television.